Microneedling is commonly known as the vampire facial. Me personally, I do not like that name. And you'll understand, oh my gosh, my face is so numb. I have a hard time talking and keeping my eyes focused. I need to rush home first because it's hard to be in the heat with my face red like this. Ladies, welcome to Lifestyle with Isabella. Here we learn to look the best while being our best selves. I just had the microneedling treatment done on my face, my neck and my chest. I've been home for about an hour now. While I'm still very red on my face and still fairly numb, the redness is starting to subside compared to how my face looked when you saw me in the car right after my treatment. I still feel a lot of numbness around the mouth area and the eye area, so it's hard for me to look very expressive. For the first 4 hours after treatment, I am not allowed to do anything to my face. The only thing I can do is to apply this calming rescue complex to make sure that my face stays well moisturized. Other than my skin feeling still numb, the skin feels, it kind of feels like something rubbed against it, but it's not an uncomfortable feeling at all. Also, if I was to maybe sweat or go somewhere like in a steamy shower, because the channels of my skin are all open, and they're open because I have so many punctures into my skin, my face will feel very tingly and kind of like if you get a tiny cut and you put water over it or a bit of sweat. Why am I doing microneedling? I would describe microneedling as a tiny baby brother of the CO2 laser or of a TCA peel. So microneedling helps our skin with skin texture, skin tone, helps with collagen production. Based on my experience, I believe microneedling also helps with some brown spots on the skin. 4 years ago, that was when I had my last CO2 laser. I needed a break from such intensive treatments and especially the recovery. So 2 years ago, I realized because I still don't want to do something as intensive as the CO2 laser, I had to find something else to help my skin in the meantime. And microneedling is a wonderful treatment to help me in between CO2 lasers. Also, microneedling has, oh my gosh, the recovery, it doesn't even compare to a CO2 laser or a TCA peel. The recovery, other than today, I really cannot go outside because my face looks red. The recovery is not existent afterwards. The only thing, I just have to be careful what products I have to use on my face. For some people who are not used to doing as many things to the face as I am, maybe the recovery does feel a bit cumbersome, but for me, it's nothing. And yes, I'm comparing it to the horrendous recovery of the CO2 laser. I love microneedling. The only drawback of microneedling is because you can see where the microneedling treatment had to stop by where the skin stops being red. So microneedling cannot go all the way underneath our eyes, and it can only go up to here. It cannot cover anything around that area. That's the only drawback. A CO2 laser, a TCA peel can go underneath the eyes, across our eyelid, so it can really treat so much of our face. Actually, if microneedling could go all the way underneath the eyes and across the eyelids, I think I will do an experiment for maybe a year and a half, do a microneedling treatment once a month. And I think I could postpone TCA peel treatments and CO2 laser treatments even further. That's how amazing microneedling is. It's been now about 6 hours since I had the microneedling done, and as you can see, the redness has subsided considerably. I did have to reapply the Rescue Calming Complex because my skin was getting dry. Now, since it's been over 4 hours since the procedures, I can also start applying to my face to keep the skin moisturized the Essential Barriers Recovery Cream. This is a very heavy moisturizer, and I'm mixing the Essential Barriers Recovery Cream with the Lipid Infusion Perfecting Serum. This serum, it's a very thick liquid that keeps the moisture locked into my skin. As I mentioned right after I had the procedure, even though microneedling is commonly known as the vampire facial or vampire facelift, I do not like that name because it sounds too sensational. Yes, it is a very catchy name, but because the name is so sensational, I feel that it takes away from the amazing effects of microneedling. I believe microneedling got the name of the vampire facial for two reasons. One of the reasons is, as the microneedling procedure is done on our skin, because the skin gets, penetrated with tiny needles, bits of blood start to come out and we look like we're bleeding. So probably that's one of the reasons for the vampire facial name. The second reason microneedling is commonly known as the vampire facial is because sometimes microneedling can be performed by first applying on our face PRP, which stands for platelet-rich plasma. That platelet-rich plasma, or simply PRP, is derived by having our blood drawn. Then our blood is spun very quickly in a centrifuge, and then the plasma is separated out of our blood. Then that plasma is applied on our skin in sections, and the microneedling pen is run on our face. I had that done in the past. Now I'm getting microneedling done with just different face serums. And I cannot tell the difference between having microneedling done with the PRP or microneedling done with just different serums that the esthetician will apply to my face. This is next day after microneedling. The redness is just about all gone. My face just looks a bit like I just sat in the sun a bit too long. I do have some marks on my face from the needle. It kind of looks like my face got rubbed in the sand, kind of like that. So this morning when I washed my face, I used a gentle cleanser. And when I put the water on my face, it did feel kind of like little tinglings or stings into my face because of all the punctures that the needles created. After I washed my face with a gentle cleanser, I followed with the Essential Barriers Recovery Cream and the Lipid Infusion Perfecting Serum. I do say that microneedling is an easy procedure because the recovery is easy, but everything is easy if I make sure my skin stays well moisturized today and tomorrow. If I don't keep my face well moisturized these 2 days, I risk creating more injury to my face than before. Basically, if I don't keep my face moisturized, and I'm just looking in the mirror, if I don't keep my face moisturized, the skin starts to look very creepy. So the skin starts to look aged. And also, I run the risk of getting scars on my skin. And also keeping the skin protected from the sun. Yesterday, I forgot to mention whether the procedure hurts, because obviously there's tiny needles run across the face. The procedure does not hurt as long as my face keeps the numbing cream on for at least 30 minutes. One time I only numbed the skin for 25 minutes and it was kind of painful. I prefer to numb for 40 to 45 minutes and then I don't feel anything. 2 days since I had microneedling done, my face looks very white, which tells me I've been shedding lots of dead skin cells. I feel like, look at my shoulders and look at the skin on my face. I have not really shed that much on my chest. My chest is just still very red, but from having a CO2 laser on my chest a few years ago, I have learned that the cells on our chest turned over much slower, so the recovery does take longer. But definitely my face looks very white right now. The skin feels normal. The only thing you can see, I have a lot of redness through here. And that's just from the tiny needles going through my skin. This is also from microneedling. Now this redness right here around my nose and right in here, that's from having to wear a face mask. My skin has been getting irritated and getting a lot of breakouts. I still also have the pinpoint marks from the microneedling through here and over here. Other than that, the face feels normal. For the skincare part, I'm still only using the Rescue Calming Complex, the Essential Barriers Cream, and the Lipid Infusion Perfecting Serum to keep my skin very moisturized. I'm going to use the same routine through tomorrow night, so just a little bit over 3 days just to be on the safe side. And then on Monday, I'm going to resume my normal skincare products, except anything that's abrasive, such as a Clarisonic brush and Retin-A. For those type of things, I need to wait 7 days. Day 3 of microneedling recovery. My face is starting to feel like sandpaper, meaning I am starting to shed lots of skin cells, which is good because the skin that's going to surface is going to be very soft and regenerated skin. Now I'm going to just follow the same skincare I've done for the last 3 days, the Rescue Calming Complex. I'm going to apply it on my skin. And you can still see I have this redness here is from microneedling. That is from wearing a face mask. Also the redness here is from face mask. But also this right here is from microneedling and right below my brow. And also on my neck. The skin on my neck and chest do not feel like sandpaper, which confirms again that the skin on the neck and chest recovers slower, but also they just don't respond to treatments as well as the skin on our face. Then I'm going to follow with the Essential Recovery Barrier Cream, which is just a rich moisturizer. And microneedling does make our face drier, and especially here in Las Vegas. And it's summer, it's mid-August. The skin feels extra dry. So when I apply this rich moisturizer, it feels so nourishing to the skin. And chest, since I had the chest done too. And I'm not making the moisturizer absorb too well into the skin, because right after I'm following with the Lipid Infusion Perfecting Serum, and I just want to kind of mix them all together, and then the skin stays very nice and moisturized. Today is 1 week since my microneedling treatment. My face looks back normal, the skin feels very soft because I've shed a lot of skin cells that microneedling has helped me shed. I was pleasantly surprised that microneedling helped me with the redness right here that I've been getting from wearing a face mask. I'm also back to using my regular products, including my Clarisonic brush and Retin-A. Throughout this video, I have been mentioning the CO2 laser and the TCA peel quite a bit. Ladies, if you want to learn about those treatments that I did, I have videos right here on the CO2 laser and the TCA peel. So pick one of those videos to watch to learn more about those treatments. Thank you.